Pfizer has developed a course of pills that they say cuts the risk of being hospitalized or dying as a result of COVID if you become infected by about 90% according to their recent trials. They did a study of 1,200 COVID-19 patients who were selected for having a higher risk of developing serious illness. And in their study, people who took Pfizer's pills were far less likely to end up in the hospital compared to those who got placebo pills. This is where it gets a little bit uncomfortable. None of the people who got the real pills died, but 10 people who got placebo pills died, according to results summarized in a Pfizer press release. And so bear in mind, this has not yet been adjudicated by the CDC. They will eventually go over this data once Pfizer completes 2 more trials that are currently ongoing. It's believed that by the end of the year, they'll submit this to the government to be looked at for possible sale. And if that were to happen, it would probably take until the beginning of next year. So all we have so far is a result of what they are saying based on their internal studies. But that said, the results seem pretty impressive. You take this course of pills inside of a couple of days of showing your first symptoms from COVID-19, and it massively lowers the chance that you will get sick or die, according to what they say. What do you think?
All right, here's what I think. Oh, finally. Okay, guys, this is amazing news. And not only publicly in the science that we're seeing, but also there's a friend of mine who is one of the top experts in this field. He looked at the actual data set itself. It's true, it's real. And whether it's 89%, of course, that's just one test, right? But the overall idea that the pill is real and does mitigate the damage is true. And understand there's 2 great pieces of news about this, which means this thing's almost done. Number 1 is this is not something you take ahead of time. This is something you take after you get sick. So this is all the Trump guys who are in the hospital saying, can I take the vaccine now before they die? No, you're gonna be able to take the pill, so it's okay, we're gonna save your life. You didn't really want it, but okay, we're gonna save your life anyway. Okay, and I say we here, but in the general country, the rest of us, the sane part of the planet, okay? And number 2, it totally works. There's another pill that got to about 50% efficacy. If this is 89% efficacy, almost no one who takes it winds up hospitalized or dead. That means COVID is done. Who cares about getting normal sick, right? We've all been normal sick 1,000 times in our lives. And so, by the way, conservatives, now to turn to politics for a second, now you'll see, it won't matter because you don't care about facts, you'll just move to the next identity issue and the next culture war issue, right? But you'll see, we're not gonna make you wear masks and take vaccines if there's other ways of preventing it. Like if this pill was around from the beginning, yes, taking the vaccine is better because it prevents spreading the disease. But with the pill, since people are not going to die, I don't really care. And you'll see that we don't care. As soon as the pill is out, I don't care. Go wherever you want. Look, don't listen to the scientists and the doctors, but my opinion is take your mask off, do whatever. I don't care about your life other than trying to preserve it. Your freedom, go nuts, man. No mask, just go hug and kiss and do in public in tight, closed spaces indoors. We don't care. We're not trying to control your lives. We were trying to save it. And if the pill does that, then great. For God's sake, get in the market and let's go. Caroline.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all know that the effects of COVID, whether the physical, mental, emotional, like those are never going to be over. That it's so ingrained in our culture and society right now that saying like it's over, hooray, is we all know that this is going to be with us in many ways for a long time to come. I agree. That being said, that this is a really remarkable step forward, but I do appreciate, John, your sort of emphasis on the fact that this is the research from the company producing the pill. So I likewise am excited for those other studies and for different companies to come up with similar results, just because I think that a lot of what we see with the vaccine hesitancy, of course, not in the far right sort of red-pilled kind of parts of the internet, is just this mistrust in in big pharma in general. And so I think, I'm still crossing my fingers, but I think it'll be a warm welcome once we have just less of a monopoly over these studies as they move into just broader recognition. But yeah, this is incredible. I didn't know something like this was possible. It feels like very well deserved for humanity at the end of all this.
Yeah, I just want to clarify two things there. Number one is the information is public. Do I trust drug companies? Period? No, of course it depends. What are we trusting them on, right? And but are they likely to put out false information and ruin their stock when they're riding high? It is very, very unlikely, right? Yeah. So and people that are experts have checked their public information and believe it's true. Again, you always want a second test, you always want more verification, et cetera, but it's just excellent news for today. And the second reason why it's excellent news, guys, is because people are psychologically more adverse to a shot. And my theory, and this is fun speculation, is that because in the movies, the bad guys will always like inject you with something. And I'm totally serious. And by the way, why do you think we have racial bias in this country? Because local news put up pictures of black guys 24/7. My whole life growing up, you guys are younger than I am, but they told you, oh, criminals, 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 and that got into your head, right? And so in the movie's case, accidentally, unwittingly, the bad guys always inject you with something. So it creates this psychological feeling of like, oh no, don't inject me, right? A pill, well, I take a pill when I have a headache. That's totally fine. Yeah. So my guess, and by the way, conservatives don't want to die, but they got weirdly decided to die on this hill because Tucker Carlson and others told them to, right? Yeah. And so now they're gonna be kind of relieved to not have to die. Do you see what I'm saying?
Well, I want to throw this out here. I want to possibly finally, after more than a year and a half, go too far. It's been impossible from the beginning of this pandemic. There was no prediction for how pro-COVID the right could be that you could make that they wouldn't eventually surpass. So, and by the way, I want to remind people, now it seems like the most obvious thing in the world, but before the vaccine was public, I said on the show, Tucker Carlson is gonna turn against the vaccine, and everyone was like, that's crazy, why would they do that? It's Trump's vaccine, they wanna go back to normal, and now literally every single right-winger still to this day is against it. So
and Jimmy Dore
and other people as well. Why are we assuming that this would be different? Just because it's a pill, it's still Pfizer. It's still suspicious.
No, but
it's not just the injections. They won't wear masks. The simplest thing, it doesn't even go in your body unless you like chew on it or something. Why would they? This is too good. This would solve the problem. There is gonna be some knee-jerk need because it's not just the individuals, it's the grifters. The grifters are feeding a desire to not be a part of the solution. An identity designed in opposition to what Biden and the country are trying to do. And so why would they give up on this?
No, but John,
they should have marketed it as for like when your ferret has like a sore stomach or something. Then maybe they would have taken it. I don't buy that they're gonna take this thing.
No, but John, that's the beauty of the pill is that we don't need the right wing anymore to be safe. Because what were we worried about? We were partly worried about them losing their lives because we're decent human beings, right? But we were mainly worried that they were gonna spread the disease. And when the Delta variant hit, that's exactly what happened. And they spread it, and good people who had already been vaccinated got killed anyway. Colin Powell, immunocompromised, and he got killed because of reckless people. But when you have the pill, you not only can get vaccinated if you're a responsible person, but even if you get sick, you could take the pill afterwards. So you would be double protected and very unlikely to die, very unlikely. If that's the case, then the Republicans can be as reckless as they want. That's why even though your prediction is rock solid normally, there isn't anything that they wouldn't do that's like there's no crazy enough, right? But in this case, John, I think that since we won't care, they won't care because their whole thing is to own the libs. And now the libs will say if they're rational, do whatever the hell you want, man. I can take the vaccine and I can take the pill afterwards. So I'm fine, as long as I'm fine. I don't give a rat's ass what you do. You see what I'm saying?
That's interesting, yeah. Caroline, any final thoughts on this?
I mean, I think the marketing in some weird animal focused way couldn't hurt. Why not? Could do both.
It's technically it's ephedra for monkeys, so it's totally cool. You should try it out.
Yeah.
Well, one other thing I would ask though, does this severely cut the chance and severity of long COVID symptoms? Because there are still long-term
I got
effects.
you, but John, at some point we got to let it go. Right?
No, I need this. My life has been so great over the past 2 years.
Yeah, I know. That's the other thing, guys. I mean, put aside the politics again. We can travel again. We can go to the movies with peace of mind again. And by the way, John, you say there's no harm in the mask. I hear you. There's absolutely no harm. I've done it throughout the entire thing. It's been no big deal, and it's a human decency to care about other people's lives, right? Having said that, I hate it. Okay, I do. I do it because I'm a decent person who cares about their well-being, even after I got vaccinated, right? But I don't like the feeling on my face. I don't like sunglasses because they obstruct my face, and I definitely don't like the mask. So I'm going to be relieved to take it off, right? Yeah. So, and don't worry, Tucker, we're not gonna make you drink Starbucks coffee every day, and we're not gonna make you wear the mask past the pill, and we weren't making you anyway. The government never said, you must do it, right? They pass other things that you pretended were a national mandate. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.